Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis, and I hope everybody is having a great Sunday. Today we're going to be talking about the entire crypto market, and then we are going to move into some altcoin talks by the end of this video, talking about Cspr, QNT, XRP, and even Hbar. So sit back, relax, and before we fully jump on into this video, I do just want to ask guys, could please leave a like on this video. It does help the channel grow immensely, and of course, I always do greatly appreciate it. Now, overall, with Bitcoin breaking to the 43K area, it looks like it is following my path from yesterday's video almost perfectly. And it does kind of solidify the idea on, hey, is the Bitcoin, bottom in? In my opinion, yesterday I told you guys it is. I do believe that from here we will see higher lows being put in place. We will have these significant drops, similar to what we've seen in the past. I mean, even at this point, this would be roughly about a 3% pullback. We have seen that on the way upward before. Let's kind of go back a little bit. So, here we have back in October, before we went on that nice run to the November high. These were about like 3% pullbacks that we've seen during this entire time. You guys have to understand the structure being put in place here. I mean, these are higher lows building up to the upside when we do get that nice breakout above the highs previously set. So, as we are watching Bitcoin right now, I still do have my charted, sort of path for Bitcoin. I'm expecting around that 45K zone to be tested, followed by that 43K support zone being put in place. This is like 43.5K. But overall, things are looking pretty good. Now, I just want to reiterate the idea that we should be watching out for tomorrow. I think that tomorrow is going to be a significant day for this entire market when we are talking about the dollar. I've been addressing this for a while now. The only thing that I do see concerning on Bitcoin right now is diminished volume. So we could be seeing a little bit of a different story being printed very soon. We also see the RSI, right? The RSI is about to cross over. Every single time that we've had a crossing, for the most part, it has been a little bit bearish. So I will say this, that is a major warning sign to watch for. Of course, the last time that we've had a major crossing event, when we actually seen the RSI kind of drop down below the moving average instead of breaking up above, we've seen, major drops. I mean, this was back here during roughly that February timeframe of about a 19% drop. But you got to remember that we're actually breaking up above the moving average. And the last time that we've actually done that was back in January. And we actually see the significance behind this. We actually jumped out about roughly 28%, so almost 29% of a move to the upside. So, again, watching the moving average, very closely down there with the RSI, because I do think that that could also impulse us to the upside, because it is, the RSI moving upward instead of downward. In the past, we've seen downward spikes below the moving average, which, led to drops. But this is a little bit different. I think that we will see a nice sort of upside move here. Ultimately, I'm watching Bitcoin very closely this week. But we do see our familiar stage is set. Bitcoin retesting 100-day MA after reclaim. Altcoin market cap retesting weekly EMA ribbon after years of near identical structure. Dollar near local top, in my opinion, after a 1-year run. Fed funds rate on the rise. And you guys can see this right here. Again, ultimately, when we are talking about everything happening right now within this market, I think that the signs are clear. I think that the dollar is near its topping point as well. I do think that the altcoin is at a major support zone. We're going to be addressing this. And when we are talking about this, it looks like Bitcoin is ready for another major show. Now, let's talk about this. So first off, let's talk about the dollar. So I have been charting and watching the dollar closely. I've been addressing this multiple times. I do believe that we will see this major drop very soon. It's going to be a little bit of a slow sort of dropping point. It's not going to be, happening overnight. And I want to reiterate the idea on going back to the 2020 high. So again, I show this because this is how slow that process could be. It could be a whole year of just downward trend. I mean, this was March of 2020 all the way to around like January of 2021. And this did not really kind of bounce back until around this June timeframe of 2021. So again, when we're talking about this, this has been in a major move since January. I mean, that was the bottom being put in place for, of course, the dollar. So think about it like this. Do you honestly think that this move to the upside on the dollar is sustainable? This is a 12% rally. I know that that sounds like, it's such a small figure number compared to what we're used to, but I want you guys to understand that 12% is a significant percentage increase for a currency. This is the US dollar. This isn't an asset. Not like, I shouldn't say it's not like an asset, but it's not like a cryptocurrency, if you will, right? A crypto project. So 12% is significant. Just to give you guys an insight, here's 8.83% of an increase in price back in that March of 2020 timeframe, followed by that major drop in value. This was a 13.39% drop in value. I do believe that this could be a little bit of a deeper correction on the macro view. When I talk about this, I think that we could see a little bit more than what we're actually kind of expecting right now from the dollar in terms of downside potential. I'm actually eyeing about like 14%. And the reason why I say this is that we will essentially test, the major support zone going back to 2017 and so. So it's about 86.17. We're going to put this on the chart real quick, and I'm going to show you exactly why I do believe that this could be the zone that we actually really do test. It could be even a little bit lower technically, but, this is major resistance going back to this time frame. And I meant 2014, not 2017, by the way. I was thinking about the 2017-2018 bull run. But, again, this is around that resistance zone. We could go a little bit lower to test that major support zone at about like 84, but this is on the macro view. So by that time, crypto will already have been rallied, similar to what we've seen during that 2021 timeframe run within, again, the March of 2020 drop. So I am watching the dollar very closely, especially going into tomorrow, because of course the dollar is not open right now. We don't know what the dollar is going to be doing, but we were at some major resistance levels at around, a significant point. Right now, when we were talking about the fib levels, I did not mean to get rid of the fib level, but we are at around that 786. Now, if we don't see a rejection here, it's going to get a little bit, I would say it's going to get a little bit concerning, especially when we are talking about things happening right now within indices and, of course, the crypto markets. Now, let's talk about the altcoin market. So, yesterday, I tried to show you guys where we were on alts. Right now, we are bouncing off of that 50-day EMA fairly strongly, putting in a little bit of a higher low compared to going back to like the March timeframe. I'm watching these levels very, very closely as well because we are hitting resistance at that 10-day EMA. On the weekly, again, you guys can kind of see where we are. We're actually bouncing off the 10-day EMA, but we are still hitting resistance up at around the same point that we did on the week of March of 28th. Now, with this in mind, we will eventually break out. We will see some sort of major breakout event here, and I'm going to be watching this very closely as we do kind of range here, because I do think that we are in a similar structure compared to September, aka that October major move to the upside here, and I'm watching the altcoin market very closely. It looks very strong. Now, I will say this, tomorrow is Monday. We all know that Mondays do get a little bit concerning for most of the markets, but they usually tend to be a little bit of a green day. I'm going to be watching the indices because these did look a little rough on Friday. And when we are talking about the dollar, if we could get that nice impulse on the dollar downward, we will see an impulse on Bitcoin and we will see an impulse on indices to the upside, which is what we want to see. Tonight is the weekly candle close on Bitcoin, though. Bitcoin is the key player for right now. Tomorrow, I want you all to pay attention to the dollar and to the indices. And if you are holding altcoins, watch the total to break these EMAs. This level here at about 1.112 trillion, that is a crucial area for us to hold. Now, when we look at things like this, where do I want to see Bitcoin basically close above? Well, I want to see us close above our recent resistance zone, which is at around like 43.4K. I want to see us break above this. And I actually want to see a significant move too. I want to see us possibly test above those EMAs. Honestly, a break above 44K would be welcoming right now. That's what I really kind of want to see on Bitcoin. Now, to sum this up, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about some altcoins, and then we will wrap up this video. But the first one is going to be Cspr. So for all my Cspr holders out there, I will say this. When we look at what Cspr has been doing lately, they've been continuing to build out fairly strong overall ecosystem, but that does not matter. Ecosystems, fundamentals, all that does not matter unless this market is in a bull run. Because that is where you make your money. Now, when we talk about Cspr and when we're looking at Cspr right now, there's a few things that I want to address. One, we are building off of that support zone going back to the March of 30 basically week, right? Now, this is not significant overall support building. I would say when we're talking about the major support, it is around like the 790 zone. It's almost like the 8-cent point. But, you know, it is kind of going back to the nice lows as far back as like, you know, the summer time frame. But it's, you know, ultimately just kind of retesting the support from, you know, the September zone. It's the major demand zones. But when we look at the current level and the structure of this, you know, for all those individuals that are, you know, holding Cspr, maybe you're accumulating Cspr. I know that I have been accumulating Cspr fairly heavily. I'm watching one level to really kind of determine where we head to, and that is this 286 or 236, sorry, fib level. Now this is at almost 10 cents. This is crucial for us because if we do break this, we will retest that 200-day EMA, and if we could break that 200-day EMA, things are going to get very interesting very fast, because once we do kind of test that, we will retest the 382 at about 12.5 cents, and if we can break that, we will test 17 cents, aka that 618. That 618 is crucial for us, but I do believe that this will put us on a path to test the all-time highs. There's a lot of altcoins in a similar structure to this. ZIL was the one that really kind of printed this picture, where we are seeing, again, also significant bounce off of support here, by the way, which is why the total 2 is very crucial to watch. It tells you a lot of signs on, you know, altcoin dominance and strength, but you know, this really showed us the, you know, where we are on alts. This is going to test that all-time high eventually. You know, right now it's kind of ranging. Again, this is over a 2x opportunity. If you guys do want to jump in, of course, it's up to you. But when we talk about a lot of these altcoins, they are at significant support between resistance zones, though, and the EMAs do show that. QNT is one that really kind of is showing that picture. First off, strong bounce off of that fib level at the 236. $118, almost $119, but it is finding resistance at around those EMAs under the 200-day, so the 10, 20, and 50. And you really do see this. Once we do break this, though, we will retest that 200-day EMA. And again, all of this is kind of settling on what Bitcoin's next major move is going to be here. We are watching Bitcoin closely, but of course, tomorrow is Monday, so there's a lot of factors to watch for tomorrow. There's Bitcoin, there's the dollar, and of course the indices, but the dollar is the crucial one. Watch the dollar tomorrow. XRP though also fairly, you know, it's showing you the, you know, the picture pretty good. We are ranging on support, kind of waiting for that next breakout event above those EMAs. Ultimately, that 200-day EMA is like the crucial one to watch for on all of these altcoins. Except for ZIL, of course. ZIL is like breaking up above. It is hitting that resistance zone at the 10-day EMA. But a lot of these altcoins are waiting to break that 200-day because that's the last, you know, real sign of major resistance before it does test those higher fib levels. And we're talking about like $1 plus on XRP if we could break out of that 92-cent zone. So I'm watching XRP closely as the market does kind of flip bullish, and also Hbar. So Hbar, again, a lot of these are all like at around that major support zone. This goes back to like the, you know, December timeframe, by the way, but it is still under those EMAs. Those EMAs are resistance. We need to break out of them. You guys can see us kind of trailing below those EMAs, hitting that resistance zone before kind of trying to break out and test that 200-day EMA, but we couldn't break that. That EMA is still following down and down and down. It's actually at around 26 cents almost. So a significant break above 26 cents will take us on a move to 30 cents plus to retest that 5 to 38 cent zone up there in that golden level. That is what I'm watching for on a lot of these altcoins. So To really kind of sum things up, watch Bitcoin right now. Watch the daily close. If we do get a bearish close, I would say a bearish close on Bitcoin would be at around currently, I would say anything under 43k. Anything under 43k is a little bit rough on Bitcoin in my opinion. A nice close above this resistance zone at about 43.5k is fully welcoming. I do want to see us break over 44k though. I want to see a strong move. Watch the dollar tomorrow. Monday is the crucial area right now to really kind of address the dollar, the total 2, and the indices. But I would say the dollar and the indices are crucial because all of this will lead to impulses within the total 2 and Bitcoin. And Bitcoin basically will control the total 2 right now. Especially since Bitcoin dominance has still been ranging here. It hasn't been moving too much. It's just kind of sideways momentum, still building that strength. I would say this is building that nice impulse up, similar to what we've seen in the past where we do see like kind of sideways momentum followed by that nice break to the upside. So I'm watching Bitcoin dominance and Bitcoin closely as well, but they are not, a critical, area for me to watch right now. The dollar is. Because the dollar will be the leading factor here. But similar to what TechDev says, I do believe that everything is kind of setting the stage for that nice massive move to the upside here. So with that being said, I hope that you all enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on if you guys want more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, I hope that you all have a beautiful day or a beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. It's been Nick. Peace out, guys.